Namaste friends, hope you're doing well. Let's talk about Mercury in the third house. So we have this placement. You'll have naturally a witty mind. You can easily solve puzzles. You're very you can sort of foretell what's going to happen. If you talk to someone in just a few minutes, you can judge the person. You know exactly what the other person is thinking about you. If you're given if you're giving a task, let's say someone gives you a task for you to do, you will find shortcuts. You will find a very positive shortcuts to reach that, to complete the task. Because your intelligence and your wittiness is so strong. But then in the third house, the personality of the Mercury in the third house has a little bit difference, because the third house is all about courage, about strength, about conviction, about self-confidence, about getting job done is seen in the third house. So when Mercury people goes there, when you have this, although you are smart, intelligent and all that, but you tend to be quiet. You tend to be sometimes a recluse as well. Your speech is not much used when it comes to the third house, although Mercury is known to use speech, your eloquence. But then in this case, Mercury is more into research. You will be more into the researching mode. You seem to know so many things. You tend to be alone, and you prefer it that way, so that you can concentrate in whatever job or whatever thing that you need to do. You will be extremely cautious. You'll be very cautious, and you're careful mind. You're always careful and cautious, and you tend to how shall I say, analytically put things into your perspective. If you want to go, say, from point A to point B, you tend to think what is the best route to take. Whether you're going to get caught up with the traffic congestion, how long is it going to take, how much is it going to cost. Everything will be in your mind. You're so you're so analytical in that sense. You tend to take everything, every small minute details into your consideration. Okay. You'll have a very a clever composure. Your mind remains active, and you possess that versatile attribute. You have that say if you're working in a company, you'll be the go-to person. You'll seem to know every aspect, not only your job but every other things will be seen. But the only thing I see from my consultations over the years is these people tend to be a little recluse, a little bit quiet. They'll only talk when the time needs. When the time comes for them to talk, to explain things, then you'll see them with that outburst. They can it's like the floodgates are open. They'll go on talking about it. That's something that I've seen for the people who have Mercury in the third house. Although you have all this knowledge, all these things, if in a group, if you're not being asked to talk about it, let's say you're with a group of friends or with your family, and you're talking something, and you realize that the conversation is not the topic in the conversation isn't accurate. It has more details to it. It is you can relate the topic to something else, but then you would not engage it, although it's wrong. But you'll tend to keep quiet. Okay, you tend to keep quiet, and you tend to analyze who's talking what and so on and so forth. Only until you're asked, then it'd be like the floodgates are open. You'll go on talking and talking, and everybody will be like astonished to see how much knowledge that you have in that particular subject. Okay, you tend to have more female siblings than the boys, more sisters than brothers. This is something that I've seen in most of the charts as well. Let me see. So when it comes to because the third house also is called Bhadrustana. Bhadru means also siblings. Your third place, the third bhava is a male planet. Okay, the third is a very strong, it's a very how shall I say, a very masculine graha is the third house. Okay, so if you have a Mercury in the house, in this house, for some reason which I'm not sure, mainly people will have more girls rather than boys. Okay, if you're married and all that, you may have more girls than the boys. Okay. I can also see that if you have third, if you have Mercury in third, you'll also love to do travelings, and in those travelings you want to learn a lot of things. So those travels would not be mainly on spending times leisurely. If someone calls you, if a group of friends call you, hey, let's go for a vacation, you will go, but then you will have other agendas. You want to break free from that leisurely time and find ways to gain more knowledge, especially when it comes to life. Also, I wanted to say that this third house, if you have Mercury, your strength, your sense of learning, okay, generally learning anything learning will be so strong. It'll give you the tenacious ability. You will be moving on to learn even until you're old. You will be constantly learning new things. Okay, learning. When I say learning, it doesn't only means by book. Okay. Learning is also through wisdom, not only knowledge. Okay, so you'll be learning from your family, you'll be learning people's personalities, you'll be also learning how the climate affects a person. Every aspects in your life you tend to learn. You just don't take something at face value. Someone tells you something, you want to analyze. Okay, you want to go deeper and see what exactly that means, and so on and so forth. So that's a little bit about what I think Mercury would do to your third house. I hope it's been beneficial. Until next time, thank you. Namaste.